One of Britain's worst sex offenders was a police officer. Using his power and control, David Carrick carried out multiple violent and brutal rapes on women. The 48-year-old former constable arrived at Southwark Crown Court after admitting attacks on 12 victims over 17 years. All the while, he was a serving Met police officer.
Oh, police rapists!
Outside, a protest from women against rape. Inside the courtroom, the list of Carrick's crimes so long, the hearing will take at least 2 days.
Dressed in a dark suit and wearing a tie, David Carrick spoke only to confirm his name. Then the multiple charges of rape were read out in court. He looked straight ahead, eyes down, showing no emotion.
The court heard details of how he abused his police power to gain trust, telling women he was the safest person to be with. One victim's ordeal was described by the prosecution lawyer. When she asked to leave his home, Carrick put a gun to her head and said, "You are not going." He then put his hands around her throat and said he was going to be the last thing she saw alive. Another victim said Carrick would use police-issue handcuffs to cuff her hands behind her back and then rape her. The then PC Carrick also humiliated his victims, locking a woman in this understairs cupboard at his home in Hertfordshire. This afternoon, statements from his victims were read out in court.
My eyes are full of tears. All I want to do is cry my eyes out. This will stay with me for the rest of my life, and I don't trust anyone anymore.
That night I felt like I had encountered evil. I honestly thought he was going to kill me that night.
I don't trust the police anymore. If anything went wrong, I don't know whether I would want to call the police, as I'd worry that they would send a male officer like him.
Scotland Yard have already apologised about Carrick's conduct, despite the Met being warned about his behaviour 9 times before his eventual arrest. Carrick's lawyer said simply the former police officer fully accepts what he's done. He'll be sentenced tomorrow.
Worth underlining, sentencing for crimes normally take a few hours, but David Carrick's list of rapes and assaults was so long it took all morning and afternoon just to get to the end of them. He's likely to be given a life sentence tomorrow, but the real tragedy here is that this isn't an isolated case. One only has to look at the rape and murder of Sarah Everard at the hands of PC Wayne Couzens just 2 years ago. So it's not just David Carrick who's in court here right now. It's the reputation of the Metropolitan Police.
Rags at Southwark Crown Court, thank you.